Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is doing alright. If you're new, welcome guys, make sure to subscribe. If you're not new, then welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Alright, so as you read by the title, I'll be giving you guys some tips on how to have a successful academic year. So this goes to secondary schools, or if you're going to sixth form, if you're going to uni, doesn't matter. It applies to everyone. I feel like a lot of my videos recently have been about tips, so hopefully they've been a bit beneficial for you guys. Obviously I'll be doing like different videos soon. It's just that lately uni starting and then school starting, so I feel like giving out tips is quite a good thing for you guys. But yeah, before we get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get on with the video. Alright, so starting from the very beginning, my first tip for you guys is make sure you have a study area. So let's just say if you don't have a desk in your room, try the dining table maybe in your house, or go to the library. Just make sure that where you study is like clear and you literally have nothing on it, because if you come home to like a very messy desk, I feel like you're not going to feel very motivated to like do your work. That's how I feel like sometimes when I come home. So make sure literally your desk is all clear and you have all you need for your studies. So I feel like when you come home, like you're gonna have the motivation to study, because oh my god, yes, I came back to a clean desk, I've got everything organized, I'm actually gonna study today. So yeah, make sure you have a clear study area. My second tip, again, very basic, make sure you get everything you need before you start school, uni, whatever you're going to. This will be things like stationery, your notebooks, etc., literally everything. I feel like it's very important if you have everything organized before school, because if you do, then you're going to feel like you're more organized. However, obviously, if you don't have your stuff before uni school, then you're going to feel like, oh, I have to get this, I have to get that. And you're just going to, be very busy, because you're going to think, oh yeah, that Saturday, I need to make sure I go to Wilco and get this, that. Where's my time to revise? So yeah, make sure you always buy your stuff before, especially because like when it comes to like September, like beginning of September towards the end, a lot of shops tend to get out of stock with certain things, so make sure you always be the first one to get there, or you can just get it online really. But yeah, make sure you do that, because the more organized you are, the more motivated you're going to be once you start uni. My third tip is to set yourself some goals. It doesn't have to be school related, it's fine. Literally any goals you want to achieve. This could be things like passing your theory test, passing your driving test, or going away, or saving this up, this much money, or getting a job, whatever it is. Make sure you set yourself some goals, because if you do this, you're going to feel way more motivated to go to school and do your work, and I feel like you're just going to have a successful academic year. Because to be honest, I know academic year is more about school, uni, sixth form, whatever it is, but I feel like putting yourself not putting yourself out there, but like setting yourself personal goals, there's nothing wrong doing it during your academic year. Because like I said, like for like the fifth time, the more like organized and motivated you are, like, so let's just say that you have an exam coming up, like set yourself a goal, set yourself like a target. What do you want to get for that exam? It doesn't have to be an A star, that's fine. It can be a C, it can be a B, and then you can work your way up. So like, what revision notes do you need? What resources do you need? Like, think about this kind of thing. So yeah, you can also do like a goal board. Oh, what's that board called? There was this like board, I forgot what it's called. I completely forgot what it's called, but once I get the name, I'll put it on the screen. So you have some sort of like boards to put in your room, and like you just put pictures of like the goals that you want to achieve. So for example, when you come back from school and you come back from whatever you just went, and you come to your room and then you see that those goals on your board, you're going to be like, what, like I'm actually going to be working so hard to achieve these goals. So make sure you do that goal board. I'm so annoyed that I can't remember what the word's called, but I'll definitely put it on the screen. Alright, so my next tip is make sure to manage your time. So this will include things like revision, lessons, your free time, whatever you need to do, appointments, anything really. Make sure you always prioritize your work though. Make sure you always prioritize your school work, uni work, sixth form work, college work, whatever it is. Make sure you always prioritize it. So let's just say you have like a schedule or like a calendar, anything you're writing, the things that you have to do. Make sure whenever you're writing your schedule, make sure you always put your lessons first and your revision time. And whatever boxes you have free, then you can literally put that time for free time, like shopping, going out with your friends, going to the cinema, going out with your parents, literally whatever it is. But I feel like prioritizing your work, obviously not prioritize your work before your family, of course, but yeah, like prioritize your work before anything else, because it's going to be very important. So for example, think, do I want to go to the cinema, or do I want to revise because I need to get, that grade? Just think about that, because I feel like if you just like tell yourself, oh yeah, like I'll do this tomorrow, or I'll do this next week, or yeah, I'll be fine, I have time next week, like trust me, you will not have that time next week, because that next week, yeah, anything else can come up, like an appointment can come up, a dentist appointment can come up, anything can come up, so you never know. Obviously, when you set yourself a schedule, not everything's going to come to plan. Obviously, sometimes there's going to be certain changes. So let's just say, you know, I plan to revise tomorrow at 5 p.m. but my driving instructor called me saying, oh, like, can you please do that time? Or, for example, you got your driving test. This is like a one-time thing. Obviously, you know, it's always going to change. There's nothing wrong with that. But for example, if you do have an appointment and that, you know, the doctor, for example, cancels it, make sure you use that time to revise. So anything you can, revise it and manage your time well. Because again, like the more time, or like the more managed you are, the more organized you'll be. Alright, so my next tip is to make yourself a study plan, or like a weekly plan. So make sure, like, kind of linking to my previous point, so make sure you always put your lessons, get a schedule and write the lessons that you have, because I feel like if you just put it in your head, it's not going to help you. Some people like to, you know, put the make like schedules on their laptops. Some people prefer to do it on paper. Some people buy a book. Do whatever's best for you. Just make sure you always have that weekly plan, so then when that Monday starts, or like when that Sunday starts, you can just see, okay, this week I have to do this, that. So make sure you always get everything ready. So for example, let's just say you have a nut lesson on a Tuesday, so that will kind of just help you, or like, do I have any homework for then, do I have to get any resources for that lesson? So, you know, that weekend will always help you to, you know, prepare everything and make sure you have everything organized for those lessons. So I feel like a weekly plan is definitely important. All right, so my next tip is gather every resource that you need. Don't leave any, like, even if you have, like, for example, a teacher, yeah, your teacher gives you like 10, I don't know, a list of 10 things that you need. Don't think that you just need like 3 of them, or like the top 3. Make sure you literally get every single thing that she gave you online, or on the library, or eBay, Amazon, whatever it is. Make sure you always have everything, because when they tell you, okay, John, you need this, that for your, you know, for your assignment, don't think, oh yeah, like 2 things will just, you know, help me get a B. Like, that's not true. Like, once they give you a whole list of references, whatever it is, make sure you always use a bit of everything. So then the teacher, for example, or whatever it is, yeah, so for example, your teacher will always see like that you know, use everything she gave you or that he gave you. That kind of also shows your teacher like how much, you know, you're trying to achieve, that, you know, you went out of your way to actually use every single, you know, reference that they gave you to your work. So yeah, that's actually really a good thing. All right, so my next tip: when a teacher is telling you that an assignment is coming up, or an exam is coming up, whatever is coming up, make sure from that day you start revising it. Literally start revising it. Even if she told you what the topic is, make sure you go back to the previous lessons or the previous work that you've done. Make sure you get everything organized, or literally buy a folder just for like assignment revision notes or exam revision notes. I need to start doing that actually. Make sure you get that some sort of, you know, revision thing, that once they tell you, oh yeah, you have an assignment coming up, let's just say in 2 months, you know, this is what we're going to be going, this is what the assignment's going to be about. Make sure you go back to your previous folder, you know, your previous lessons, and think, okay, let me find the lessons that, you know, we've spoken about this and that and this and that, and then take out everything and start making your revision notes. Because if you only start making revision notes or start revising for that assignment 3 weeks, let's just say 2 to 3 weeks before, it's not going to help you. I used to do that and I was literally stressed out, because things always come up, like anything can come up during those 2 to 3 weeks time. So I feel like starting it literally 2 months before, it is a bit extra, but then you can just submit your assignment or your exam early, and that'll just be the perfect time, because then you're going to have that free time to do whatever. Or if, let's just say that, you know, you get an assignment set for 2 months time and you think, oh yeah, that's going to be okay, but then 2 weeks after you get another assignment set. So if you start that assignment already, then you have more time for that second assignment or third assignment or fourth assignment. So make sure as soon as they say the word exam or the word assignment is coming up, make sure you always start revising it. All right, so my next tip is, if you do miss a lecture or a lesson, always go back to it. Or if you're struggling with anything, always ask your teachers for help, because if there's always something that you're struggling with, that's just going to make you struggle even more when it comes to the exam or the exam period time. So every single time, even if you miss a lesson because you were ill or because you had a doctor's appointment, whatever it is, always make sure you go back to it, because that lesson can literally be very important. That lesson can even link to your assignment. That lesson can literally be the most important lesson of the year. So always make sure you go back to it. Even if you think the lesson wasn't necessary or it was like a stupid lesson, whatever it is, trust me, like, it is important, and that can actually very help you for your assignment. Alright, so my final tip, make sure you rest as much as you can. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Like, trust me, drink plenty of water. That will help you. Make sure you get 8 hours of sleep, or more than 8 hours if you need to. But make sure you always rest, and don't like overwork. Like, don't do too much. I personally, like, from my experience, I would advise you to like at least do 2 to 3 hours of revision a day, depending how busy your day is. But let's just say, me as a uni student, let's just say, there's a day where I only have 1 lesson, and it's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That means I have the afternoon for free. I would come home, I would eat, I would watch some TV, but then let's just say from 5 to 7 I would then do some work, or maybe from like 3 to 5, and then I'll give myself a break and then revise for the last hour. Because the first hour of your revision is always like gathering resources. You kind of waste your time. So in the last 2 hours you have that time to literally just revise it. So when for example, when I'm trying to revise, the first hour of my revision, I'm always spending on making notes like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing today, or this is what I'm going to cover it, or this is where I can find this resource. I'm always just wasting time. So make sure you always have like 2 to 3 hours a day, or maybe like every 2 days, whatever you think's best for you. Obviously, again, don't overwork, because it's just not going to be good for you, and your head is just going to be like, whoa. Make sure you always go to sleep early, wake up early, or wake up late, whatever, and trust me, it will just work for you. But yeah, guys, this is the end of the video. It's a bit simple, but I feel like these tips are quite needed now that we all gonna start school. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you find it useful. If you have any other tips on how to have a successful academic year, make sure you comment down below. But yeah, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.